So this is part one, episode one of a little YouTube series that I'm calling The Honest Hour. It was The Honest Corner, but I feel like The Honest Hour, that alliteration, it sounds better. So it's called The Honest Hour. What is The Honest Hour? The Honest Hour is a series of videos which is basically just shining a light on being honest with yourself about how you're feeling at the moment. Not just that, it's about being authentic with what is going on in life. It's a little bit revolved around fitness, exercise, a bit of like gut health stuff, business, lifestyle, living in Bali currently, and just working overseas and traveling about a little bit. I'm based in Bali though mostly. But the focus, the core theme of this is about anxiety and my journey with it over the last 4 years, how it's been an honest approach to, or honest opinion on how everything's been with it, the struggles, the lows, the dark moments, and also how I've been able to shift things in a better way for myself, how I've been able to get out a pit of despair, which was what I was in a couple of years ago, to a point now. I'm definitely not fixed, I'm far from it, to be honest, but you know, say if I was feeling about a 2 out of 10 a couple of years ago, I've had days recently where I'm sitting out, you know, a 7 or an 8, but sometimes, you know, the baseline drops to a little bit of a 6. It really depends. So this isn't me coming out saying I've got a fix for you, because the reality is I don't. I think everyone's got to try and fix themselves. There is a mountain of shit that you need to do in order to help yourself. However, it will be talking, you know, totally about my story, things that helped me, things that I've struggled with, and where things are at right now, and where I'm planning to get to as well. What am I doing that is making me better or trying to improve me? So the reason for this whole thing is a couple of things, but you know, I say impact. Like if this can help one person, then for me that's great. That's a great job. That is the main focus, you know. Like I felt how horrendous it feels to be on your fucking knees feeling like a piece of shit in your own head, with symptoms manifesting physically that will honestly turn the fucking bravest souls into feeling like a little fucking girl, which that is it. Like, you know, feeling scared and feeling trapped inside your own body and not knowing what's going on. So yeah, if I can help someone in a way that's, in certain ways that can actually help them get themselves out of that situation where they are feeling so low and so bad, and they do a few things, they tweak a few things that makes them feel, you know, it might not be up to 100%, but even if it's 10%, that 10% that's a lot. You know, that's the difference between someone being able to go out of their house, someone being able to socialize, someone being able to do things that they think they can't do because they feel that bad. So impact, inspiring as well. You know, a lot of people have limiting beliefs about anxiety, how they feel, that stops them from doing certain things. And again, for me, if I can help someone or inspire someone to be able to take that step that they think they can't take because they do feel, they feel this ridiculous amount of anxiety, whether it's physical, in the mind, and that is limiting them from living a life that they want to live, then, and I can shift that a bit for them and they can take a few steps, they can take some steps into doing what they want to do, then perfect, to be honest. And then lastly, it's for myself as well, which I was going to say it's selfish, but it's not really. It's I'm doing it for me because I think a couple of reasons, but I feel like a lot of people are put onto this earth actually to go through mad struggles and then to help other people get out of those mad struggles. I feel like you're giving yourself and other people a disservice if you don't. So it's selfish in that reason. Like I wanna, it's like, I guess it's feeling good about helping people. The other thing is as well, it's put myself in front of camera and doing long form, which I've never really done before. I'm pretty comfortable in front of a camera. I'm happy to get in front of a camera and talk, but I've never really done it on a long form basis, So that's a little bit uncomfortable, a bit more uncomfortable for me. So again, it's just helping me raise confidence levels, get used to being in front of a camera for a long time, and also just helps me vocalize my story, and also it helps me just become better on a different different level, different platform, different way of putting content out there. So that is the reasons. So for context, so a little bit about me. I'm aware of the time on this video. I don't really want to make these much longer than 10-15 minutes because I think it's too much time. I don't want to lose people babbling on, whatever. And I think it keeps it a bit concise. So yeah, the irony, it's called The Honest Hour, but it's actually only gonna be fucking 10 or 15 minute videos. But yeah, my journey. So I didn't really give a fuck about anything for a long time of my life, a big portion of my life. I'm 29 now. Life is definitely better now, but up until the age of about 24, 25, I really did not care about pretty much anything. I was very happy-go-lucky. I thought nothing bad was ever going to happen to me. Partying a lot, doing a lot of drugs, drinking a lot of booze. You know how it is. Used to smoke fucking a shit ton of weed when I was 20 years old at uni. But I was basically, party boy with not really any ambition to actually improve his life. And I was just running on the fumes of being that guy that would always be up for a good time, It was very shallow when I think about it. My whole character, really, it was running just totally off ego and just being so in my ego about how I thought I looked, loving myself, thinking I was loving myself, but actually far from it. And yeah, I basically, I wasn't even aware of mental health. I wasn't really aware of anxiety. Like someone said they had anxiety to me or depression, I'd be like, I don't really know what that is, to be honest. I'd felt times of being uncomfortable in social situations, which when I think about it now was a bit of anxiety, but nothing significant. So 4 years ago, I was traveling. I came back from traveling. I was in Australia. Then I went to Canada for a bit with an ex-girlfriend. And then I basically had a mini life crisis, quarter life crisis. Thought, I need to fucking go home because I'm fitting windows and doors right now. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm getting paid cash under the table, and I knew that wasn't what I wanted to do. So for me, I was like, yeah, okay, I need to go home and actually like focus on something now. Like the time has come, really. So I go home, and then I basically don't know what the fuck I'm meant to do with myself. And it's funny reflecting on it now, because I realized that I wasn't making decisions for myself, which is an important note to trying to make yourself feel better as well. But I was basically following the footsteps of everybody else. I was looking at my mates. I was thinking, these guys are all working jobs, good jobs, professional jobs, making good money. I've just been working in bars and cafes and like just dossing about, really, doing a bit of construction labor and stuff, but nothing serious. So I felt the pressure from that. I basically ended up doing a master's course in building surveying, which to be honest is not what I want to do, but families in building, other people I know who are kind of in the industry, and they were like, yeah, for me, I was like, okay, it kind of makes sense. So a bit of pressure from, feeling from the friends, from the parents and the rents. And yeah, I ended up doing this course and fucking hating it so much. I really hated it. But I kept doing it because I was like, I think this is the thing that I'm meant to do. Anyway, this period of time, so this was going on for a few months, I was feeling a little bit down. I never really felt truly depressed, to be honest. I felt elements of it, but not down, not nowhere near what some people feel, is what I would say, compared to the anxiety that I felt. But after a few months of being at home, I remember it was like a light switch, and all of a sudden I got immersed into feeling ridiculously depersonalized from myself. Felt like I was out of body. I remember a couple of friends, a few mates coming over, we were having a few beers, we were watching the rugby, and I remember just standing there thinking, I do not feel okay right now. I feel like I can't really talk. I feel very uncomfortable. I feel like I don't want to be inside my own skin. And I actually thought I was sick. I thought I was ill. I thought I was just feeling funny. So I was like, you know what? Do as you do. Carry on drinking beers. Do a few drugs. Numb yourself a little bit, and try and just mask it. Which in reality was a terrible thing to do, but that's what it was. I woke up the next morning, and again I felt all these symptoms, all these problems. I felt depersonalized, massive brain fog. I felt socially anxious. I had these pains in my chest, in my throat. I had tingling down the left-hand side of my body. My vision was a bit blurred. My feet, again, tingling a bit. And I went to a cafe in the morning, and I remember sitting there with a very, very good friend of mine, and I'm just looking at the waitress. She's asking what we want for food, and I'm like, I feel like I can't even fucking talk right now. Looking at the menu, I'm like, this don't feel right. So just about got through the brekkie. I then go home, and from there, it turned into a rabbit hole of me trying to figure out what the fuck was wrong with me. And you know how it is. If you're watching this and you have suffered from the same shit, then you know how going on Google, all you're trying to do is figure out what the fuck is wrong with you. Typing in the symptoms, you're typing in, you're going into Reddit, into the fucking, the deep archives of Reddit as well. Like, not ain't surface level, like we're going through threads and all sorts. And from there, it was a lot. It was basically me just trying to figure out what was wrong, and I was so convinced that it was something wrong inside of my body. It could not be my mind, which again, there's still, I think it's a combination of a lot of things, to be honest. I don't think it's just one thing for a lot of people. Like, as much as you might hate to hear it, I think you've got to take a real holistic approach to this stuff. But anyway, I was so convinced it was something in my body that was wrong. So I'm taking I'm doing all sorts of different tests. I'm going to the doctor. I'm trying to get brain scans. I'm getting my ears checked, my eyes checked. I went to a hypnotist, acupuncture, every fucking supplement that you could think of. All sorts of shit. I was trying everything and nothing would shift, and I felt fucking shit for a long time. Really, really long time. I would be out with my parents having a drink or whatever, and I'd just fucking break down into tears because I felt so bad. I felt like I couldn't function properly. It felt very intimidating going into social settings because I felt like I wasn't my usual self. I felt like people would be treating me differently because I felt like I felt like a shell of myself. I didn't feel like I was the Harry that I used to be, which, reflecting on it now, I wouldn't want to be that Harry anymore. But on a confidence level, on a social basis, that was for me very, very difficult because all of a sudden, you get a guy he's very comfortable, confident going into social situations to feeling like he feels like a little boy. That was arguably the hardest part, to be honest. So, and I'm sure for a lot of you as well, you could resonate with that. But yeah, that was, that continued for a long time. And it affected a lot of stuff. There's a mosquito on my nose. It affected a lot of things. I didn't end up actually continuing with a master's course, and I nearly got a job in the industry as well, but COVID happened and turned its head on everything. I ended up going into freelance web design, which is a different story for a different day. But yes, for 4 years now, I've been battling this thing, and only in the last 6-8 months, things have shifted in a good way, I would say. And I put that down to a few reasons, which I'll share in continued videos. But really, yeah, like I said, this series is to shed some light on anxiety, being honest about how rough times were, being authentic about it. I think there's limits to how much you should talk about this stuff. I don't think talking about it all the time is necessarily the best thing to do. I think it's got a time and a place. The reason I say that is you keep affirming it if you keep talking about it. So you have to be a bit careful. However, it's a double-edged sword because the more you talk about it, the more people can resonate, the more people can be helped. So that's some food for thought, really. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed listening to this. If you have, there's more to come about journey, healing, things I'm doing now, what's helping me the most. Like I said, I still have shit days. I still have, 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10 days. But what I will say is it makes those 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s even so much fucking better. So one thing that I'd like to leave this on a note is, so this is a phrase that I recently came up with that I think it rings really true, and I think it gives people a little bit of hope in their situation and how they're feeling. But it's what I truly believe, and again, it's one of the reasons why I'm doing this thing, is the fact that your struggles can turn into someone else, turn into help for someone else. And that phrase is, your darkest hour can turn into your superpower. So those dark times, those times where you felt like you could not fucking do anything, those times that you felt that fucking horrendous, you fix yourself and you help yourself, you then become, in my eyes, superhuman to somebody else that you can help fix. So that's episode 1 done. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next fucking episode. Peace.